Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Indie Zone. My name is Kathy. There appears to be 3 documents that has popped up on the case summary page. All 3 are State of Idaho filings in the Idaho versus Kohberger case. They are on the case summary page, which is maintained by the clerk of court to chronologically list all of the developments in the case. You can follow this link to the Idaho cases of judicial interest. Scroll down to the Idaho versus Kohberger case. The first link under the case style and name is the case summary page. Hit that. Go down to the bottom of page 68 of 69, and you will see the first of 3 filings that has just popped up today. This is the 11th of February on the case summary page. The first is a PDF icon next to the title motion. So we know that this is a public document. This is one of the 3 that will eventually turn up on the docket for you to read in its entirety. It has not yet been published on the public docket. What does it say? It says motion. Motion is an application for a court order. The description here is motion to extend state's rebuttal expert deadline. Then if we go to the top of the last page, page 69, again, we're on the case summary page for Idaho versus Kohberger. The second of the 3 documents filed February 10th, 2025, subject document motion to redact or seal newly filed record, affidavit of Ashley S. Jennings. She is on the State of Idaho's prosecuting team, one of the attorneys from Latah County prosecuting this case against Mr. Kohberger. So that tells us that this is also a state filing. Unfortunately, the little lock and key device tells us that this will not appear on the public docket. It has been filed under seal. The third item is also dated the 10th of February. It is motion to redact or seal newly filed records. And the description that's provided here is motion to seal Exhibit S's and Sam 1 regarding motion to extend state's rebuttal expert disclosure. So all in all, when we look at these 3 documents, 2 of which are going to pop up on the public docket at some time, hopefully within the next day or 2, and the third, which is sealed, we know that from the lock and key icon, we can tell that all 3 of these appear to be State of Idaho filings. Why? Number 1, asking for an extension and enlargement of time to extend the state's rebuttal expert deadline. Where can we find what this deadline is? Well, I've recommended that anyone who has an interest in this case, please refer to what I call the blueprint, which is Judge Stephen J. Hippler's October 9th, 2024 pretrial and trial order. If you go to page 2 and 3 of this document, the bottom of page 2, you'll see a section entitled Expert Disclosures. What is this? This is when the parties are to disclose to each other their expert witnesses. 2 phases: the guilt, aka the case in chief phase, which is when the state of Idaho will present their case, seeking to convince the future jury beyond a reasonable doubt at the evidentiary standard that Mr. Kohberger is in fact guilty of all of the 5 first-degree felonies that he will stand trial for this summer. Of course, we always interject that Mr. Kohberger is considered innocent under the eyes of the law until or unless that future jury convicts him following the case in chief, aka the guilt phase, or he pleads guilty. So returning now, there's a section of the blueprint for the case, the pretrial and trial order, that is entitled Expert Disclosures. You see here the first expert disclosures that were due was the state of Idaho's guilt phase, aka case in chief. Then came the defense expert witness disclosures, again for the guilt phase, aka case in chief. And then if we continue on reading this section of the pretrial and trial order, we see right here that the State of Idaho's rebuttal expert guilt phase, aka case in chief, witness disclosures are due on February 13th, 2025. So these three documents that appear to request an enlargement of time, extension of time, is for this deadline right here that we see in Judge Hippler's trial and pretrial order. Once these documents hit the docket, we will, of course, update you further as to what they say, what the reason is for asking for an enlargement of time per the court's order, and any other information we can glean from the two public documents. Of course, there's the third that we will not, as the public, be able to view because it has been filed under seal. This will now conclude this episode of our presentation, continuing coverage of the Idaho versus Kohberger case. Please leave any comments, feedback, thoughts. We appreciate them all. And if you enjoy our content, if you find it helpful, please consider subscribing to the channel. It really helps us out a lot. This is Kathy. Until next time, thank you very much for joining us here today.